Hello everybody, welcome back to Memories Dogma. Here we are with a harrowing choice. What should I do? Now in the last episode we found out that Serrano was being kept alive along with a bunch of other people who are manifestors, and Kuroda was using their power. He was linking his brain with their power, so they were being kept alive so that whenever he was feeling threatened, they would use their power instinctively because they thought they were being threatened. And the only really way to stop Kuroda now is to destroy the machines that the bodies are in. Unfortunately, obviously, this means that those people are going to die, but they're really just being kept alive like through machines. I mean, their brains are active, but that's about it. I mean, you know, you get to this harrowing choice. What does it mean to be alive? You know, it's a huge debate. You know, gone on for decades and centuries. So, I mean, you know, what should I do? We're probably going to get a major choice. Alright. Do we sacrifice Serrano? We got to stop him. We don't want to hurt anymore. It's a tough choice, but I think it has to be done. I've decided. Because if we keep her alive, he's just going to keep continuing his rampage, and, you know, who knows who else is going to suffer, you know. Yes, we love Serrano, but, you know, sometimes we got to sacrifice what we love for the greater good.
Hiroki, 本当にそれでいいの?
I've made my peace. Of course, Serrano's still precious to me. But we're the only people who can stop the person who ruined the lives of Serrano and everyone else trapped in here. The person who drove Aoi into a corner. The person who nearly killed Kakeru. The person who's committed countless sins. We're the only ones who can stop Kuroda now. Now is the time to use the life Serrano sacrificed herself to protect. I need to do this for Serrano, who wished for a better future, who believed I'd be able to preserve the balance of the world. And this is how we're going to do it. And also for Reina, who really is the only reason I'm alive right now. Reina looks down at her feet for a moment before saying,
わかった。
Let's do this.
ここまで来られたのは、ヒロキがいてくれたから。
Reina smiles gently as she says that.
だから、ヒロキの一番大切だと思うもの。
レーナ、ありがと
う。Reina's accepted my choice. Good. Now remember, he can read our minds, so he knows what we're thinking, so any plans against him would be very tricky to pull off because he would already know about them. Kuroda says that expressionlessly as he hears our answer.
そうだ。あんたの計画はここで終わりだ。
この後に及んでおめでたい発想だな。
Oh, I expected more words. Okay. Kuroda smiles. You know, it's like he doesn't care about our declaration at all. He's underestimating us, thinking there's no way we'd be able to shut down the capsules.
ここにいる全員を一人一人殺していくつもりかね?
Rage wells up within me when I hear Kuroda say that. However, I mean, it is true that's basically what we're going to do. But I've already decided. I slowly stand up. I face off against him. When suddenly I hear a metallic click behind me. What?
Aoi!
What are you doing? When I turn around, I always pointed a gun at me.
Hiroki, Serranoを見捨てるの?
違う。
No, we're not
そうじゃ
abandoning
ないん
her.
です。葵さん。
She sacrificed herself so that we could save everybody. And this is what we're gonna do.
そうだ。いいぞ、葵くん。
Kuroda slowly walks over to Aoi.
黒だ。
おっと動かないでいただけるかな、楠原君。君のその能力は確かに称賛に値するが、不死になったわけではないということを覚えておいた方がいい。君を本当の意味で殺すことは不可能ではないだろう。それにたとえ君が死ななかったとしても、折笠君に死んでもらうだけだ。
Kuroda stands next to Aoi-san and lightly pats her shoulder.
大切な妹を助けられなかった君も犠牲を払わなければな。心配しなくていい。これが終われば君には空野くんの肉体も記憶データも手に入る。
That is such a lie. She's brainwashed though. She's too far gone. Kuroda's just trying to shift the blame onto her. If Aoi-san had been there when Serrano died, then maybe she could have saved her. Kuroda's using that kind of logic to cause Aoi-san to hate herself even more and make her more susceptible to listening to him. Then he's showing her a potential path to redemption, a way to undo the past, so to speak, a way for her to clear away her self-loathing. By doing so, he's making her think it's necessary to take this path. This was how Kuroda deceived and manipulated so many people.
葵さん、空野がさらわれたのはあなたのせいじゃない。過去をなかったことになんてできないはずです。俺にも葵さんにも。こんなことをしても一生満たされることなんてないんですよ、葵さん。
Aoi-san doesn't say anything. She just points the gun at me with trembling arms. Man, I hope she doesn't do what I think she's gonna do.
楠原君、結局君には人を殺す勇気などないのだ。君のダメなところはそこさ。たとえ能力を発現していても使う意志がなければ無価値だ。だが安心したまえ。その力は私が有効に使ってやろう。さて、もういいだろう。君たちには退場してもらおう。撃ちたまえ、葵君。
No, don't shoot us, please. We're gonna go stiff beside me. I step in front of her to protect her. Aoi-san's whole body's trembling, and it looks like she'll pull the trigger any minute. It doesn't look like I'll be able to get through to her anymore. However, I let out a long breath and slowly raised my hands.
わかりました、葵さん。
何が？
葵さんの決意がですよ。だから俺も覚悟を決めました。
I suddenly take a step forward. When I step forward, I feel my heart squeeze tight. Aoi-san puts her finger on the trigger.
ようやく引き金に指をかけましたね、葵さん。本当は打つ気がないんじゃないですか。
そんなこと。
いいんですよ、葵さん。葵さんは俺のことを撃ってもいいんです。
どうして？
だって葵さんの気持ち、空野と話せるのなら、記憶だけでも手に入れられるならって今でも少し思います。だから
I take one more step forward. I still don't hear a gunshot.
だからもし撃つなら、俺が死んだ後、空野がこれ以上ひどい目に遭わないようにしてください。そしてどうか。
I take one more step forward.
開
hear a thunderous gunshot and feel a sharp pain in my right shoulder. So I've been shot. But I'm not dead yet. I take another step forward.
やめて。
And another.
葵さん、
I grab the gun and push it against my chest.
ここですよ。ここです。
I hold the gun close so that Aoi-san can feel the beating of my heart. So that my feelings can reach her.
選んでください。葵さん。
I stand there waiting for Aoi-san to answer. Regardless of the outcome, I won't have any regrets. I just don't want to see Aoi-san suffer any more than this. What's she gonna do? Eventually, Aoi-san starts sobbing. In the end, Aoi-san can't pull the trigger. She can't do it. I slowly put my hands on the gun.
もう大丈夫ですよ。
I slowly take the gun from her hands. Aoi-san starts wailing and tears gush forth as if a dam had burst. I gently pat her back. You know, if things had been just a little different, I might have been the one pointing that gun at someone. It's a really depressing thought. Aoi-san just wanted to be forgiven, that's all. That's why she picked such a perilous path. She chose to throw herself into pain and suffering, but at the end of such a path is just more suffering. I look over to Rina and entrust Aoi-san to her.
なんだこれは。
I glare at Kuroda. I expect him to start ridiculing us, but instead he looks shaken. Look at that.
黙れ。
He is just losing his mind. He's gonna go crazy, and someone's gonna get hurt. Kuroda curses while holding his head in his hands. His expression is a mixture of annoyance and confusion. I signal Rina to take Aoi-san and get away from me.
くそ。
Kuroda swings wildly at the air in front of him. As he does so, space itself looks like it warps for an instant, then the ground at Kuroda's feet cracks. The cracks start snaking towards us. What the hell? I jump to the left to avoid them. The cracks travel all the way to one of the black pillars. The glass cracks and the air display vanishes. Then suddenly the pillar's lighting vanishes and the inside goes dark.
許さんぞ。私に逆らうなど。
The air around Kuroda grows heavy. It's coming. As Kuroda begins to move, I dash forward. We both start running towards each other, but I'm the one with the head start. I paint a picture in my mind of all the blood in my body flowing from my torso to the tips of my fingers and toes. As if following the outline of my image, the tingling feeling runs through my body. I throw a punch, aiming for Kuroda's jaw. Kuroda crosses his arms in front of him. Before my right arm can make contact, it's repulsed by an invisible wall of air. But it's not as powerful as before when it blew me away. In fact, it feels as if my arm manages to sink a little ways into the air wall. This time I use my left fist and aim for his stomach. I'm blocked by yet another wall of air. But this wall of air is even weaker. One more push. I gather strength in my right leg and... With his arms crossed, Kuroda jabs his left hand out like a spear. I instantly try to change the trajectory of my kick, but I'm too late, when I feel a stab of pain on my left side as air whooshes past my cheek. I grit my teeth in pain, but I still lash out with another punch. I feel blocked by another layer of wind. Meanwhile, Kuroda bends his left arm around the right side of his head. He then throws a wild backhanded haymaker at my temple. A powerful shockwave of air passes over my head. The strength of wind pulls a few hairs off my head. However, I keep low enough to avoid a direct hit from Kuroda, but then a strong gust of wind starts blowing in the direction that Kuroda swung in. Withstanding the sudden gust, I push off with my right foot, jumping slightly to the left. I move in close to Kuroda, with myself as close as to his torso as possible. Kuroda's body is pulled forward because of the force of his swing, leaving his entire torso completely unprotected. I pound my left fist into him as hard as I can. Using the power of his rotation, Kuroda brings his right hand down to block. He parries my fist downward with his hand. The parry knocks me off balance and I nearly fall over. However, instead of trying to resist the pull, I go with it and roll onto the ground. But because of that, I end up turning my back to Kuroda. I make a split-second judgment and decide that it's more important to put as much distance between us as possible than to turn around. I sneak a quick sidelong glance back at Kuroda and see that he's unleashing another spear thrust. I roll slightly to the side to avoid his straight thrust. There's a hole drilled into the floor where I was a split second ago. I stand up and turn around to face Kuroda.
なんだというのだこれは貴様何をした
Kuroda's been spouting incomprehensible stuff for a while now.
あんた何を言ってるんだ
Kuroda does not answer my question and just takes his stance again.
こんなもの貴様を殺してしまえば
Kuroda starts to make another sweeping motion with his arms. But he stops halfway and covers both his ears with his hands.
何を言ってるんだうるさいやめろ
This is the opening I needed. This is my only chance to beat him. I charge at him.
黒だ
I focus everything I have into my right arm, in order to pierce through Kuroda's defenses at a single point. Kuroda feebly waves his right arm at me while groaning in pain. I don't even bother dodging. I don't want to stop my momentum even a little bit. A strong gust of wind blows past me. I don't see anything pass by. But as the wind slams into me, a huge gash appears going from my right thigh all the way to my upper left half of my chest. But I don't stop. I throw all of my weight forward and raise my fist. And then I let it fly. Kuroda thrusts both his hands forward. A wall of wind blocks my fist once more. But this time... I'm gonna blow past it. I push forward with both legs. My fist slowly sinks deeper into the wall of air. I feel my fist shatter through some thin pain and the resistance vanishes. My fist connects with Kuroda's face. The resounding impact of it reverberates throughout my body. Kuroda's body is blown backwards. Kuroda's head crashes into the wall behind him and he slowly slides to the ground. Oh man, that was a tense fight. I stare at him warily, but it doesn't look like he's able to get up. I stare at my right hand. I was able to get back at him with this hand. I walk over to Serrano. Serrano's sleeping peacefully, not moving a muscle. Was I able to fulfill Serrano's wish? I hope so.
ヒロキ、おそらくこの装置のシステムは黒田の MRD と連動している。
Probably right. I mean, it says that as she walks up beside me.
だから黒田が気を失っているうちに。
We can't waste the chance Serrano gave us. I walk over to the collapsed Kuroda. He's definitely unconscious. But seeing as his shoulders are rising and falling slightly, he's probably not dead. We need some way to tie him up. Now that we've learned the truth, we need to tell the public about it. They need to know. Which means we need to make him talk somehow. I lean over to try and take Kuroda's MRD as I consider all of this, but as I reach out my hand to take it off his left wrist, Kuroda thrusts his right hand out towards me. I fly through the air and crash into the ground a few meters away. Trying to bear the pain, I lift my head up and see Reina running over toward me. But behind her, Kuroda takes a gun out of his breast pocket. He then takes aim at Reina's back. Oh my god. A second later, I hear a gunshot. Reina collapses on top of me. Oh my god. Reina's face is right next to me. I hurriedly pull Reina into my arms and quickly check her back. But there's no blood anywhere. I look over at Kuroda and see blood pouring out of his chest. Aoi stands standing next to us, her gun pointed at Kuroda. Aoi's the one who fired. Kuroda backs into the wall and slides down, leaving a trail of blood behind him as he collapses. Reina and I stand up and head over to him.
本当にこれで終わりだ、黒田。
Kuroda grins as blood dribbles out of his mouth.
私を殺して終わりだと思うかね。
なんだと。
もう私一人の問題ではないぞ。
Kuroda points to a corner of the room with a trembling finger. We all look towards the corner he's pointing to. There's a security camera there. Reina suddenly shouts. I look back at Kuroda and see that he's doing something on his MRD. Shit, he was just trying to distract us. I've got a bad feeling about this. I take my hand off Reina's shoulder and run over to him, but Kuroda just thrusts his left hand towards me and laughs.
お前たちも道それた。
Suddenly, a warning noise blares throughout the room.
既得措置シーケンスが実行されました。本研究施設は20分後に爆破されます。各スタッフは避難してください。
20 minutes? What? This research facility is gonna blow up?
おい、今すぐこれを止めろ。
I grab Kuroda's left wrist and shout at him, but Kuroda's already dead.
くそ。
I slowly let go of his hand. I feel someone's hand on my shoulder and I turn around.
ヒロキ、あれを見て。
Oh no. I look over to where Reina's pointing. It's the capsule that's holding Serrano. The AR display at the top changes colors to red and reads disconnected.
これは。
おそらく装置の中の空野はきっと黒田の死とともに他のみんなも。
Reina trails off. When I look around, all the capsules say the same thing. That word is all I need to infer what must have happened.
そんな。
So now she's truly gone from this world. So all of the manifestors have died?
ここもじきに危なくなる。ひろき、行きましょう。真実を知っている私たちまで死んだら誰も止められない。だから生きてここから出ないと。
You're right.
そうだな。
Our job's not done yet. We need to bring the truth back with us. But now all I can do is prolong this life that Serrano gave me.
行こ
We stand up.
秘匿措置シーケンスが実行されました。本研究施設は19分後に爆破されます。
We've only got 19 minutes left. We gotta get out of here within the time
う。
limit.
葵さんも行きましょう。
I look over at Aoi-san, but she shakes her head.
私は空野のそばにいる。
葵、
空野を守れなかった私にこれ以上生きる意味なんて。
I tightly grab Aoi-san by the hand.
葵さんが行かないなら俺もここに残ります。
何言ってるの。
だって空野を守れなかったのは俺も同じですから。
ひろき、
秘匿措置シーケンスが実行されました。本研究施設は18分後に爆破されます。各スタッフは避難してください。
18 minutes left.
葵さん、お願いします。俺をここで死なせないでください。
Aoi-san and I stare at each other silently. We just stand there looking at each other for nearly a minute. Suddenly I feel Aoi-san grab my hand back.
わかった。
Aoi-san nods slowly. Suddenly the ground beneath us rumbles, and the thunderous roar echoes around us. Have the explosions already begun on the lower floors?
急ごう。葵さんも。
The three of us run for the entrance together. We pass through the same row of capsules we walked through on our way here. Each and every one of them has gone dark. Just like when we came here, the only light we have to guide us is the slight illumination at our feet. We finally make it back to the entrance. But unlike when we came in, the door isn't open this time. Now that I think about it, right after we came in, the door locked behind us, didn't it?
しまったな。
This is bad. I panic for a moment, worried we won't be able to get it open, but
ひろき、あれ。
Rena points to a panel next to the door. I run over and see a rectangular panel with an air display next to it saying locked.
ちょっと待って。
Rena fishes inside her inner pocket of her jacket for a while before pulling something out. It's a card of some sort. It must be some kind of ID card that connects center researchers have for authorization.
私がこの研究の首謀者ということは当然このシステムにもアクセスできるようにしているはずだ。
As she says that, she presses her card up against the panel. With a small electronic beep, the AR display changes to read unlocked.
もう一回扉の前へ。
Rena and I head back to the door. It's open. Alright.
捨てようかと思ってたけど念のために持ってて正解だった。
Huh, we're very glad.
今初めて黒田に感謝したよ。
Yeah, that was not a smart move on his part. Rena and I share a quick smile.
さあ、葵さんも。
As I turn around, I feel something hard push against my back. Rena and I stagger a few steps forward due to the force, enough to clear the doorway and make it into the hall. When I turn around, I see Aoi still within the room. She pushes Rena and me outside, but doesn't take a single step out herself.
葵さん。
What are you doing? Aoi-san smiles faintly when I call out to her. Sorry. She mouths silently before. The door closes behind us. Then I hear 2 gunshots from inside.
葵さん
I run over to the door. Can't believe it. But it doesn't open. Rena presses her ID card into the panel on the side door just like she did before to open it, but nothing happens. The door stays closed.
さっきの銃声、開閉システムを壊したのね。
Shit. Why? Why did it have to come to this?
葵さん葵さん
I pound my fist against the door. I finally hear a faint voice from behind the
ご
door.
めんねヒロキ。やっぱり私お姉ちゃんだから最後までそばにいなくちゃ。
何言ってるんですか葵さん。こんなずるいですよ。
ヒロキ生きて。
The sound of footsteps reaches my ears. And that sound slowly fades further and further away.
葵さん
I pound on the door as hard as I
なん
can.
でなんでだよ
I pound the door so hard my hand starts to hurt.
ヒロキ、違う。
Rena stops my right hand. There are red marks all over the door. I sit down on the floor and stay there a while, completely silent.
秘匿措置シーケンスが実行されました。本研究施設は15分後に爆破されます。各スタッフは避難してください。
15 minutes left.
俺たちはどうすればいい。
ここを出るのよ。私たちは空野や葵の思いを背負ってる。